everyone. Alright, cool. Just a few minutes and we'll get started. Just gonna close my BTC long first real quick. Alright, so we'll just be going through the markets in the stream. Ahmed and David are online as well, so it'll be great to have their thoughts on the market as well. If you have any chart requests, just throw them into the live stream trading chat. So yeah, firstly we'll go through Bitcoin and the rest of the market. Later on in the stream, just want to also discuss a bit about like the price action over the past few weeks and best way to trade it using session times, highs and lows. Alright, so just from what I can see on Bitcoin, we just had the CPI release, so very volatile, and then you can see it spiked up, swept out probably the previous day high, I think. Yep, and then very harsh rejection afterwards, so that's usually a bearish sign. So I'm considering just closing out this Bitcoin long position around here. The setup behind the Bitcoin long from yesterday is mainly on the daily chart. So we have this daily fair value gap right here from 57.6k to 59.4. And then this daily candle here swept out the previous day low, so it wicked below, but it closed above the previous day low. So that is a bullish signal. It doesn't show up too often on the daily chart, but when it does, it's a very clear indicator for your bias for the day. So yeah, the setup is long after that sweep below and close above, and then targeting the daily candle range high, 62,000. So looking at the daily chart, that still looks to be in play, but just for the lower time frames, it looks just a little bit bearish for now. So yeah, let's keep an eye on it. We might have to close out this position a bit earlier. Do you have any thoughts on Bitcoin and the market at the moment? Alright, I'll just come back to you when you're ready. And David as well, just feel free to unmute and share your thoughts as well. Anyway, so going back to Bitcoin. Right, so the original plan is bullish until 62,000. It's a very choppy market at the moment, so it's very normal for price to move up 2,000 points and move down 2,000 points very quickly. So what I had in mind was just a sweep out of 62,000, and then it'll continue trading in the current local range, which is 58.2k to 62,000. So sort of range bound action is what I'm expecting for the next week, next couple of days. Right, the key level to flip on Bitcoin for us to really be bullish is a candle close above 62,350. Right, so a closure above that will be a reclaim of the key support level. So yeah, that's my thoughts for now. And then looking at CoinGlass, So this is the funding rates of crypto, and as you can see, the funding rates across the board is quite negative, so that is a bullish sign. You can see all the numbers are green. So bullish funding rate is just when funding rate is negative, that means the spot price is higher than the futures price. It can be an early indication of an imbalance on the market towards the short side, so more shorts than long positions in the local range, but it's just an indicator. It's not to be used by itself. Alright, so hopefully that's clear enough on Bitcoin. Any questions, just let me know. So moving on to Solana, I did long this yesterday as well. And again, it's on the daily time frame, mainly because the lower time frames is very choppy and messy at the moment. Doesn't make a lot of sense if you just only look at the lower time frames. So on the daily chart, we have this daily fair value gap here, held as support, and then we have this key level here, blue box. So yeah, what I was thinking yesterday is a move towards this blue zone area, 164, 167, before move back down to the lower range. I'm just going to close the Bitcoin position here because it's just getting really choppy. But as for Solana, it's actually showing some decent relative strength at the moment, so we can keep that open for now. But yeah, Bitcoin I'm closing here. Just give me a second. So yeah, main reason for closing it is this market's too choppy, so you have to be ready to close positions. But overall, 62,000 is still possible, but maybe after a bit of a retracement in today's trading session. Alright, so as for Solana, it does look pretty okay for now. Lower time frames, you can see it's kind of trying to break out of this current local range. So what can happen is perhaps it just rejects here and goes back to the range lows, so extra consolidation before the breakout. But the original plan on the daily time frame is still valid, so I'm keeping it open for now. Let's have a look at Sui. So I noted this yesterday in watch lists, noting the very strong strength over the past couple of days. So 140% buyback from the lows in just a few days. So definitely worth keeping an eye on. And the key zone I've marked out here on Sui is 0.824. That's the daily fair value gap, which also aligns with the breaker block. Right, but very straightforward analysis on Sui for now. So break of structure with displacement, retrace into daily fair value gap, and then continuation towards the draw on liquidity target. Equal high is 1.17. So yeah, alert set here. We'll see how it reacts once price reaches that point. So look at TON. Yep, so definitely showing some good strength here as well. So yeah, really key thing here is this daily fair value gap inversion. So yeah, if we get a daily candle close above 6.84, I think it's a sign of very strong bullish momentum, and we can see continuation much higher. Alright, so yeah, let's see how this daily candle closes. But as for the projection on the daily time frame, it's looking something like this. Definitely very strong. So yeah, I'll keep this on the watch list. We can look for long positions over the next few days, depending how the daily candle closes, and if we get a retracement for our entry. Put this in the watch lists as well. Yep, 4 hour looks great as well. Cool. Let's have a look at INJ. I commented on that yesterday as well. So the key level I mentioned yesterday was 18. Alright, so the reason I've marked 18 is because that's the previous trading range low. And you can see I've marked out this zone here from 18 up to 29 from April to August. That's kind of like the accumulation action. And then last week, the dig down into 13.4 is the manipulation move, sweeping below all of these equal lows and initiating a strong buyback. So it's already bounced 42% from the low. And you guys might be familiar with this sort of action, which is the Power 3 or AMD accumulation and then manipulation down, followed by distribution or expansion. So it usually looks something like this, but of course this is quite a large magnitude move, so might take some time to play out. But pretty much as long as price maintains above 18, I think the bias should be bullish on IJ, and it should sustain some bullish price action as long as Bitcoin also doesn't dump. Right, so on the lower time frames, I think we can possibly get an entry again from 18, because you can kind of view this as a local range here as well. It's attempting to break out above 19.4, but it might take some multiple attempts. So in that case here, you can just long off this retest of the 18 zone. I think I also had a few other coins on the watch list yesterday, so I'll go back to those real quick as well. So I think Pendle is the other one. Right, so Pendle hasn't done much. Right, so yeah, reason why I was looking at Pendle, Solana and INJ is the weekly chart actually looks extremely bullish. So we have this weekly candle here, wick below but close above this weekly candle. So you can then treat this as the sort of range, right, 2.36 all the way to 4.16, and from the current price, that's a solid 45% move. So the high time frame bias is bullish as well on Pendle. But however, price is currently within a range on the lower time frames. So the range is from 2.9 to around 2.4. So it's unlikely to successfully break out on the first attempt. Right. The current price action across the market is very choppy and round trippy. So we rarely see this sort of clean breakout. Instead, what we usually see is a false breakout and then move back down to the range lows. So this here can be our entry point around the range lows here at about 2.43. So let's set here. Right, so those are the main coins I wanted to check up on in today's stream. Do you guys have any chart requests? So I guess let's have a look at the meme coins as well. So you can see this previous bullish weekly fair value gap did not hold, it sliced right through, so it's inverted and it's changed into the key resistance zone. Very strong dig down and strong buyback. So just on the higher time frames, I do expect a move towards 0.00976. So yeah, what I'm thinking for Pepe is just a range forming around here. So Peter did a scalp position on this yesterday and played out quite nicely. That'll probably be on the lower time frame, so 1 hour or 15 minutes. Let's check out some of these coins in the chat. Yeah, let me know if the mic is too quiet. Alright, so what's your view on this, Ahmed? Looks interesting, but I feel like the upside for this might be a bit limited. It's probably good for scalps, so I'll go down to the lower time frames. Yeah, so lower time frames is definitely clearer. So probably something like this. It should reach this high here, 0.054. Alright, cool. Feel free to share your chart. Also with these chart requests, let me know if you guys have any open positions on them. Right, so in terms of the weekly time frame, starting off with that. So we again have that weekly candle closure bullish, which is wick below the previous weekly candle low, but close above. So in these circumstances, to keep it simple, it's pretty much expect a move at least to the 50% threshold, and in about like 70% of the cases, also movement to the weekly candle range high. So for Python, I think 0.3311 is very likely over the next few days. Right, so with these sort of analysis of these coins, as you can see, moving to the daily time frame the weekly time frame can make things very clear. As for the short term, you can see that it's kind of rejecting from the this fair value gap here. So what we can potentially see first is just some sort of ranging action. So down below these lows here, down to this H4 fair value gap, and then subsequently to the 50% threshold. Also, we just have New York opening right now. So higher volatility during first 30 minutes of open. Will be interesting to see what we get. So just keep an eye on the Bitcoin price movement over there. Alright, so for CEC, right off the bat, from what I can see, it's definitely showing some strength compared to other altcoins. So this weekly candle is very bullish. It wicked into the weekly fair value gap. So that's very good. Then the clear break of structure with the displacement. Alright, so if you use the standard deviation extensions, you can see it's currently at the level 4 extension, which is the sort of maximum target. So I do expect a pretty hefty retracement from here. And this could present our opportunity to go long of the retrace. So this zone around here would be a good place to bid for continuation. So yep, alert set at this level. We'll be keeping an eye on this. so for REZ, you can see it's a short position. So very nice entry there. Looks good. David just mentioned that, Ahmed just mentioned that New York swept London session lows. So let's check that out real quick. Okay, yeah, very good observation, Ahmed. So you can see here, this is the London session low, 60,590. And you can see upon New York Open, we had an aggressive dig down that swept out this low. So the bias for this session is leaning bullish. It will be confirmed bullish if we get some confirmation. Yeah, there's not really any fair value gaps we can use for confirmation. You can see there's this tiny one here, but I don't really count that. So yeah, I think bias will be confirmed more bullish if we get price sustaining above 60,890. But you can see how the session highs and lows play a very significant role in driving the price action. Right, you can see before every expansive move, previous session lows are always swept out. So the Asia session low on Tuesday was swept out during London, and then this initiated the expansive move to the upside. So you can kind of view this as, again, a power of V movement. And yeah, I actually wanted to discuss a bit about using session times to guide your daily bias. And it was particularly useful during the extremely choppy price movements over the past couple of weeks. Right, and the logic behind that is when there is sort of like a lack of strong narrative in the market, then in that case, the price just seeks to sweep out like lower time frame liquidity to drive the price movements rather than higher time frame sort of narratives and levels like that. Right, so you can see in these examples here, New York sweeps out the London session high, gets a lot of people bullish, and then it pulls the rug. Right, so you can see using session times, highs and lows, can really help you with identifying the key price zones for the short term and the current trading session. So it's important, like when we get a sweep of a previous session, that you watch for a potential reversal. Right, and if you guys want the settings for this indicator, it's in one of the posts in the video lessons section. It's titled Mechanical Strategy for Trading BTC Using Inverted Fair Value Gaps and Time. And the settings is as follows. It's the Lux Algo Sessions indicator with these times selected. And yeah, good point from David that everything looks more or less the same, especially with altcoins. So yeah, that's why I'm not really looking to add many positions today. Just going to hold the Solana long for now. So what we can see at the low time frames right now, so we'll probably get a sweep of this Asia session low at 60,458, and then we'll see where we go from there. So ideally for a bullish session, we want to see a sweep of this level, followed by buyback and several candle closes above this 5-minute fair value gap. So 60,660. Close above that would confirm this as an inverted FVG. Or we won't necessarily clear out this Asia session low, but I'm thinking like since we're so close to it already, we might as well. But pretty much this fair value gap here, candle closes above, would confirm the bullish bias for today's New York session. So hopefully that sort of commentary makes sense to you guys. You guys can also apply this to assist with your short-term directional bias on Bitcoin and the market. So we also had DYM mentioned in chat. I think David shared a very good chart on that. So entry long from the breaker plus FVG, also sweep of local lows. So something like this on DRM looks like a very clean setup in my opinion, just on the lower time frames. Right. So Ahmed is long SUI and BTC. Okay. So BTC I just explained before why we're going long. Then SUI, so I believe we're probably at the golden pocket retracement zone for SUI, so that's probably the rationale behind that position. But yeah, if it does stop out, I will be interested to long from 0.824. Right, so I'll just go through a few other coins, probably some meme coins, and then we'll wrap up the stream. Any other chart requests, just let me know. So I actually looked through some of these meme coins yesterday, and most of them don't really look that good, in my opinion. Like, I can see the weekly chart kind of looks like a range, but it's not showing any strength at the moment. So we're being patient with entering longs on this. Pepe looks a bit better. SHIB is just a bearish order flow for the past, for the whole year, pretty much the whole year. So not interested in that. Then I think RIF. Yeah, so RIF I looked at yesterday. It's showing the bullish weekly candle formation, which is sweep below this weekly candle low, close above. So we target the weekly candle range high, and at minimum 50% retracement level at 1.956. As you can see, this level has already been reached in the previous week. So what we can actually see on RIF is a deeper retracement into the previous weekly candle low before some buyback. So RIF, it's not very clear at the moment, in my opinion, but over the longer term, it should make a movement back towards 2.57. Right, so various possibilities, like on paper, the previous week low should not be tapped 1.05, but also we have this weekly fair value gap just below 1, very strong sell side liquidity as well. So that's a possibility that we go below 1 before seeing the strong buyback. And yeah, very good point there with the daily chart, David, on WIF. So in fact, on the daily chart, we have the daily candle range here. Right, so you can see here it has wicked above this weekly, this daily candle here, but closed below. So that's a bearish sign. And in this case here, we seek the liquidity of the daily candle low. So now that we go down to the daily chart, I think it looks a lot clearer. So in my opinion, the most likely possibility on WIF is something like this. So this one here, down to the daily fair value gap, 1.549, bounce off that, and then back towards around 2. So yeah, alert set, I think. Yeah. If we get a reaction from there, we can enter long. Alright, cool. So we went through quite a few coins in today's session. If you guys want to recap the key things, it's all in the watch list channel. And yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on those coins. If we get an entry opportunity, I'll send them through into the alerts channel. Alright, so very strong sell-off at the moment. So glad that I closed out my long just before. Hopefully we can see some bounce or buyback though, because yeah, Solana, as I said before, failed the breakout. There's no support from Bitcoin. So yeah, on the low time frames, it needs to sustain above 150.7 for it to continue upwards. Otherwise, it's just kind of stuck in the local range. Right, great. So I think I'll end the stream here. Thank you guys for attending today's stream, and hope to see you all again next week, same time. All right, thanks everyone. Have a nice day.